This guide will take you through the key information you need to know about using iAchieve to support your school's RSHE curriculum. Welcome to RSHE by iAchieve. The iAchieve framework is matched directly to the government's statutory guidance covering all the necessary content that should be taught by the time learners leave secondary school. The framework is broken down into 5 units, which covers years 7 to 11. This is 1 unit per year group. The iAchieve framework is not simply about covering the statutory guidance, it's designed to help teachers and schools level up their RSHE provision. The framework promotes consistency and helps to reduce the workload associated with delivering RSHE, such as writing resources, researching and fact-checking topics, and assessing students. It should also help you as a teacher to be confident and assured in your delivery because all the content is there for you. You know it's correct and you don't need to apply your own interpretation or worry that the information you're providing is accurate. iAchieve is designed to make your life easier. Quality assurance. The iAchieve resources are endorsed by leading awarding organisation CASH, and iAchieve is also an approved member of the renowned industry body, the Sex Education Forum, so you can be satisfied that the content you are delivering when using iAchieve is age appropriate, factually accurate and up to date. You will also be teaching the same content as all the other teachers involved in RSHE delivery in your school, so you know your students are getting a consistent message. The content. The statutory guidance comprises of 14 sections that should be covered before students leave secondary school, and the iAchieve materials cover all of these. They fall into 2 categories, which are then broken down into smaller components. Relationships and Sex Education, RSE. Families, respectful relationships including friendships, online and media, being safe, intimate and sexual relationships including sexual health, the law. Physical health and mental well-being, HE. Mental well-being, internet safety and harms, physical health and fitness, healthy eating, drugs, alcohol and tobacco, health and prevention, basic first aid, changing adolescent body. Spiral curriculum model. The iAchieve framework uses a spiral approach to the content which is recommended by the government and organisations such as the Sex Education Forum and PSHE Association. This means that subject areas are not taught as standalone topics but weave and intertwine in the way they do in real-life situations. This approach allows for subjects to be revisited year upon year, allowing you to cover topics in more depth at an age-appropriate level. This is all set out in iAchieve's easy-to-use framework. Using the iAchieve framework. Mapping documents accompany the framework and resources, and from these you can see when and where each subject area is covered. This mapping document can be found in the Supporting Documents area of the iAchieve platform. And from these you can see when and where each subject is covered. If we take the area of respectful relationships including friendships, and look at a specific element of the guidance, you can see how the topic is covered in each unit or year group of the iAchieve materials. This specific element of the guidance is covered in Year 7 during Session 2, Year 8 in Session 6, Year 9 in Session 2, Year 10 in Session 2, and again in Year 11 Session 4. If we follow this mapping across to the platform then, we can see that Year 7 Session 2 does indeed link to respectful relationships, and as we work through the session, you can see there that topics relating to bullying are covered. Each session has interactive elements, as you can see, and is rounded up by the end of session self-marking quiz. The quiz will only allow you to enter the correct answers, as you can see. If we move on then to Year 9 Session 2, you can see some familiar topics being covered. This time the information from the Year 7 session has been expanded and built upon, still interactive and still with the end of session self-marking quiz. Finally, if we look at Year 11 Session 4, You can clearly see that whilst the topic areas echo those of the Year 7 and Year 9 sessions, there is much more detailed and expanded information. There's still the interactivity, this time with the age-appropriate links to further reading and information. And again, with that self-marking quiz at the end. Delivery suggestions. To make the most of the spiral curriculum style that is embedded within the iAchieve framework, we recommend delivering the iAchieve content in the way it's set out on the platform, that is, from Year 7 through to Year 11, covering each session in chronological order. Let's take one of the more difficult areas that you will need to cover and look at how you can use iAchieve to support your delivery. The statutory guidance states that learners must know about intimate and sexual relationships, including sexual health. One of the components of this area of the curriculum is sexually transmitted infections. This is how STIs are covered by the iAchieve framework. iAchieve Year 8 Session 6, iAchieve Year 9 Session 5, iAchieve Year 11 Session 3. For example, if we look at Year 11 Session 3, the Think First activities within the iAchieve materials can be used as your classroom activities, or if you're using a blended learning approach, learners can type their answers directly in the box provided and you can give feedback once the lesson is over. For this specific activity, you might ask students to get into pairs and make a list of any STIs they know of, encouraging students to discuss difficult topics in pairs or smaller groups rather than out loud in front of the whole class can help everyone feel more comfortable and can help encourage the discussion. Alternatively, you could ask small groups to brainstorm how to protect themselves from STIs, and then you could type up the answers in the screen on the box provided as a group activity. If you are dealing with uncomfortable topics such as this, you can use the iAchieve framework to encourage students to engage in a non-verbal way. For example, if discussing STIs, you could ask students to show how many STIs they know of by showing a number on their hands. You could ask students to raise their hands if they have heard of a specific STI before you go into further detail as outlined by the iAchieve materials. Another non-verbal suggestion for communication could be giving visual clues to get students thinking. iAchieve have selected safe images which may prompt students to participate with answering what topic you are talking about. For example, with STIs, pictures which indicate barrier methods, regular checks, etc. can be shown. Then you can go into detail for each picture when the student correctly identifies them. Feel confident. Being confident in the classroom will put students at ease. Teaching some topics within the RSHE curriculum, particularly around sex, can feel awkward, and some topics, such as abortion or FGM, can also be quite sensitive and difficult. Using the iAchieve framework for your delivery should help you to feel more confident because recommendations about current best practice have been incorporated. For example, with STI teaching, the current accepted approach is not to show images of affected areas. Also, using correct scientific language can make things a lot more comfortable for both students and teachers. The earlier this language is introduced, the more used to it everyone gets. Ensuring content is delivered at the appropriate age can also give you confidence in what you're delivering. Feeling that your content is inclusive can also be very important. You may be wondering if you've covered everyone or got it completely right. Having your resources endorsed by industry professional gives assurance that the information you're teaching is suitable for your year group and inclusive in the way it should be. This is all reflected within the iAchieve materials. Assessment in RSHE. It is important that you assess learners within your RSHE curriculum to establish a baseline of where they are currently at with their knowledge and to understand the impact of the curriculum you're delivering, enabling you to see your students' progress over time, just as you would with any other subject area. iAchieve provides workbooks that can be used alongside the resources. These workbooks can be found on the iAchieve platform. The workbooks are Word documents that can be printed off or completed directly on the computer by learners. There is one workbook per year group. Delivering RSHE as a qualification. The iAchieve online framework is matched directly to a nationally recognised qualification, CASH Level 2 Certificate in Relationships, Sex and Health Education. If your school plans to accredit learners so that they gain a qualification for the work they do in RSHE, the workbooks available on the iAchieve platform will be the learner's evidence. Summary. The RSHE by iAchieve framework is matched directly to the statutory guidance. It uses the recommended spiral-style curriculum approach. It is broken down into 5 units covering Year 7 to Year 11. Mapping documents are available on the iAchieve platform so you can see where each topic is covered within the materials. The resources are endorsed by leading awarding organisation CASH so you can be confident that they are up-to-date, accurate and age-appropriate. Accompanying workbooks can be used to monitor progress and also accredit learners so that they gain a qualification. If you need any further help or support, please contact us on info@iachieve.org.uk.